So yeah, my name's Derek. I am the CoolCare trainer who's doing the webinar today. We're going to be having a look at basic rota management. So there are things we're doing the very basic stuff. So there is stuff in here you'll probably know, but there is one or two bits in here I'm hoping that you don't know. This is going to be a little series of webinars we're going to do. And as we go on through these webinars on rota, they will get more and more kind of either complicated or sophisticated, whichever way you prefer to say it. So the webinar is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel in our playlist a while after the webinar has finished. Let's say by tomorrow. Okay, so let me make a start. So we're looking at rota management basics. They're very simple things in the rota management, but I hope to throw one or two things in there that you may not have seen before. CoolCare is here to make operating your care home easier, more efficient, and more profitable. And during the session, you can ask questions. And if you want to ask questions, if you can use the Q&A, you can see here, we have Sam with us to help me with the Q&A, and he will hopefully be able to answer any questions you have during the session. We will have time at the end of the session as well to ask questions as well. Okay. So what we're looking at today, unassigning shifts, changing staff, swapping shifts by date or person, assigning staff to consecutive shifts, reassigning holiday and absences. I'm going to show you a little trick with that, which you may or may not know. And the one you may not have come across before is splitting a shift between two staff members. Okay, let's jump into CoolCare. Let's see if I can get that bit. Saying that now, can I get that bit right? My CoolCare seems to have vanished. You can see here behind my Zoom. Hold on for 1 second. Hopefully it's there. There it is. It was hiding behind my Zoom. Okay, so here I've got my rota open. So I'm going to start off with some really simple ones. So let's say I have someone here. I'm going to move over to a part of my rota I haven't used before. Let's use this one here. So I have Carol me in here, and for whatever reason, and it's not a holiday, it's not an absence, but for some reason I want to unassign her from that shift. So if I click on left click once, go, and I can just unassign. Okay, so that takes her off the shift, hopefully, in a second. I said it was working fine earlier on. I wonder if it's because I was sitting there so long, not logged in. What I might try and do is, if you bear with me for a second, is log out and log in. But it was because I was sitting there for so long without not doing anything. So let me just, what's that? Let's see if we can go back into CoolCare again. Let's go to my home. And let's go to my rota. There we go. Yeah, it probably because I was sitting on the rota, it probably did actually log me out. Right. Okay, let's go over and try that again. So I go over to Carol, and as I said, it's not a holiday, it's not an absence. She's going to unassign her from that shift. Later on, I might decide who I want to actually do that shift, and I can just click on that and put that person's name in. There we go. We'll say Jenny Dixon's going to go in. Right. So I would do that if I want to unassign someone and I don't know who I'm going to put into that shift yet. Unassign it, then wait till I know who I'm going to put on that shift and put it on that shift. But what if I already know? So say our friend here, Karen Holloway. I already know who I want to change shift with between Karen and some other person. I know who the person is. I could unassign them and then add them again, or I could click here and just say change staff. It just does it a couple of clicks quicker. Change staff. Say to Helen White. So I have my options. I can unassign and then reassign someone, or I can click and say change staff and then change directly to a new member of staff. So that's some two really easy ones. What if you want people to swap shifts? So let's say our friend here, Sarah Lynch, wants to swap shifts with someone who's working on Wednesday, the 11th of October. If we click here, we go and we pick swap shift. There we go. And I do it by date. And I said the 11th of October. There we go. Here are all the people working on the 11th. So she decides, yes, she wants to swap with Carol. And there is Carol on the 11th. See her there. If I say swap shift, that changes to Sarah and Carol goes down there. But what if she wants to swap with a specific person? So let's say our friend here, Sandra Williams, wants to swap shifts on one of the days that Helen Myers is working. So click here, swap shift with Helen. There's Helen Myers, there's all the days she's working. So she decides she wants to swap with her when she's working on the 12th. So if we look down here, there she is on the 12th. If I click on that and I say swap shift, if you look at Helen Myers' name is here at the moment, swap shift, Sandra Williams. Sandra Williams is there and Helen Myers has jumped to there. So that is swap shift, which you can do by date or by person. Okay, let's have a look at assigning staff to consecutive shifts. So what I mean by that is, here during my kind of night period, I don't have anyone working on a pattern. So I usually fill this up by clicking here and saying who's working. So I know who's working tonight. I know who's working tomorrow night. Go. And what if I come along here and I have someone who says to me, I can work from the 1st, we'll do a nice easy one here. I can work from the 1st of October till the 5th of October on those shifts. I could click on this each time and put that person's name in 5 times without any real problem. But there is a quicker way of doing it. If I click here, I can say covered. What date? From the 1st of October till I said the 5th of October. There we go. And who are you going to put in there? Oh, let's say Elaine Book. There she goes. And if I save that, there you go. Elaine's book. Elaine Book's name went in there 5 times. So I clicked here and I did covered. The same will be true even in a shift pattern. We're up here, we have a shift pattern where Helen Myers is working. But as you can see, Helen Myers is off there for 4 days. I'm going to have to find someone to fill those. I could find the same, but if I find the same person, I can click on that 4 times and put their name in, or I could do this. And what is it? The 2nd to the 5th. Click here. Covered is the trick. From the 2nd to the 5th. Go and we put in, who are we going to put in? Oh, Helen Simmons. There you go. In fact, I won't pick a Helen. Just pick someone different because that's big. Oh, Kenton. There you go. I'm going to save that. And if we look across here for Helen Myers, our holiday there is filled in by our friend Kenton. Okay, so that's how you can do the consecutive shifts one. Now we're going to have a look at holidays and absences. So you probably already know how to put someone on holiday or put someone on as an absence. So, and you probably already know kind of how do I fill those spaces? Well, I know that. I know to fill those spaces. I click here and I put someone's name in. It's simple. Let's look at this absence here for today. So what happens if Karen rings in? She says she's going to be absent, so I make her absent. I start ringing around, and I eventually find someone who can do her shift. The problem with the person I find who can do her shift is that um, they can't come in at 7 because I didn't know till 8 o'clock that this was going to happen. When I eventually contacted this person, it was 9. They say they can come in 10, but they're going to be there till 6. Okay, it is true. I could just click here. I could pick their name, whoever it's going to be, Wilma, and put her in. Now, when she clocks in at 10 and clocks out at 6, the timesheet will show that as not snapped to shift. Not the end of the world. It'll still record the correct number of hours that she was in the building. So it's not like not terrible or anything. But what if I actually want, let me just unassign her for a second. Remember unassign? What if I want her shift to reflect what she's actually going to work? Because I won't be here at 7 o'clock when she's going to leave, or I won't be here at 6 o'clock when she's going to leave. I'm looking at the rota would say, "Hey, you're supposed to be here till 7." No, 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 it was agreed. So I want this to say exactly what shift she's working. So what I can do is I can do this. I can delete the shift. Then I can replace it with a new shift. Click here, go to ad hoc, say daytime, and I'm going to say we've agreed she's going to work from 10 to 6. Add shift. I've now got a 10 to 6 shift. I can click on that. If I see Wilma quickly, I'll put her in, but if I don't, I'll pick someone else. There you go. Oh, there we go. Let's put in Sue. There you go. Shoot, yeah. So I can change that shift. Now, even though that's in a shift pattern, it makes no difference whatsoever because it doesn't affect the rest of it. It's one shift. Now, I am going to play around with this idea, so you are going to see this thing again. Okay, so what happens in a situation where someone comes along and says they want a holiday or an absence, but they don't want the whole day. So hang on, let me show you what I mean. Let's take Paul here. Now, Paul has used up all his holidays. I think he's on minus 200 and something hours because I use them so much. So Paul needs Saturday the 30th off. But he has no holidays. So he's going to take it as unpaid leave. He's going to take it as an absence. So Saturday the 30th. So what I can do is I can go to my calendar. I can go to Saturday the 30th. I can go to absence. And I can put Paul in. Now, you may already know how to do this. I say I can put Paul in. Oh, right. Let me just come out of that and try that again. Let's go in to the 30th. Absence. There you go. I think it looks a bit better now. Ah, there we go. So there's Paul. I said, you may already know how to do this, but the next one I'm going to put a little twist on it. So Paul works 7 to 7. I got to put a reason in. I say family reason. I'm going to be authorize it. And by the way, it says here 12 hours. It says 12 hours because that's how long the shift is. But let's say he did come in to work that shift. He had come in to work that shift. You would not. You don't pay for breaks. So in a normal 12-hour shift, he'd have maybe an hour and a half break. Therefore, I can't penalize him 11 hours. I'm going to penalize him 10.5 because that's how much he would have actually worked in that 12-hour shift. I'm going to authorize that. I'm going to save it. Yes, take him off the rota. Let's go back to the rota for a second. And we see there is an absence and it's a full day. Right. Paul then says, I need Sunday as well. But the Sunday, I only need the morning, don't need the afternoon. Right, so let's see, how do we deal with that? Let's go back to our calendar and go to the 1st of October. which is there. There we go. I'm going to go absence. Hopefully it works perfect this time. That's better. We'll do Paul. There he is. He says he just can't come in the morning. So he wants to be absent from 7 till 1 o'clock. There we go. So 7 to 1, I think that's 6 hours, I think. So I'm gonna take 5 hours off. So, okay, I'm gonna authorize that. Got to put a reason in, and we will save that. Okay, let's go back to our rota. Right, so we've two absences. Now, although that one, remember, it says 7 to 9 because that's how long the shift is. But remember, our absence on this one is only 5 hours because I've taken an hour off for breaks. Okay, let's go back to our rota. Now, this one here is easy to get someone to fill this one. I said to someone, I need you to come in to work 7 to 7. They go, yeah. Click on that. I put the person in. But here, Paul's going to be in the afternoon. So I only need someone to work half the shift. But also, he's going to be in, but it says he's absent. So how do I get around this? What I do is this. Oh, remember, the absence is not recorded on the rota. The absence is recorded on the calendar and on the person's record. So I'm going to delete this shift. I'm going to click here. I'm going to add an ad hoc shift. Well, I'm going to try that again. There we go. Day. Remember, he's not coming in 7 to 1, but he will be there from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Add shift. There we go. It's a 1 to 7 shift. I click on that. Now remember, we've said he's going to be absent that day. So he won't be here in the normal spaces. He'll be down here in absences because he's absent for 5 hours. If I click on that, in he goes. Now he's working 1 to 7. Remember, on the calendar, we're okay because his absence has been recorded there. I know he's on there twice. That's just me messing around with my calendar. That wouldn't happen to you. You'd only have him on there once. Okay, let's jump back to our rota. So his absence is recorded there, his 5 hours, and then his actual work time is recorded here. Oops, sorry, move that across. His work time is recorded here. But we've still got a problem. The problem is who's working 7 to 1? This is the reason we always say to you, you should always have these blank lines. I've only got one blank line. You might have 2 or 3, but I have a blank senior care line I can use when I need to. And this is the time when I need to use it. So I'm going to come down here to my blank line. I'm going to click here. I'm going to put in an ad hoc one. I'm going to say it is daytime. I'm going to say it is, I can't forgotten now. Oh yeah, it is from, I have forgotten. It's from 7 to 1, the time that our friend Paul is not working. And if I do add shift, and I click on here, I can add someone else in to do that half of the shift. The same as if, so even if someone was on holiday, see if I got one here. There we go. Let's say this, so I've unassigned this one. I'll do one quickly. I haven't got much time left. I'll do one more. So unassigned. So let's say that the person, I've got to fill this shift. I've only got someone who can do half this shift. So what I could do was I could click here. I could delete the shift. I could click here. I could put an ad hoc shift in. I could do day. I'm going to say this one here is from 7 till 1. There you go. And let's say Sinead is going to do that part of that shift for me. The second half, the shift is going to be done by somebody else. Here's my blank line. This is the reason we have them. I click here and I put in ad hoc and I do day. Then down here, I'm going to put in um, the time. Go add shift. So there's my 7 to 1, and here's my 1 to 7. Who's going to do that part of the shift? Simon Spellman. So that's how, if you have to split a shift over two people, that's how you can do it. So there are all the main bits we have to do. As I said, it has been recorded, and it will appear at the on our YouTube site probably by tomorrow, I hope. Let me just take you back to my PowerPoint. I've only got two screens to do, just to tell you what's happening next. So if I click here, yes. So the next one will be based around rota management, but it's advanced stuff. So we'll be doing kind of more technical stuff, more kind of tricky stuff on the next one. So before I let you go, I just have to say, whether you're in charge of finance and payroll, rota management, or tracking residents, you can work with our product specialists online or in person. Did you know you may be entitled to free training? Every customer has at least two 30-minute free of charge training sessions. Contact training below to check your entitlement. So you can email training at coolcare4.co.uk or give us a call on, of course, they're all threes in this here, 0113 385 3853. Okay, hope you've enjoyed that. And myself and Sam will stay on for a little while so that you can ask questions. Okay, thank you very much.